Good afternoon. Today I'm back for Q&As. If you haven't seen me before, my name is Christiane Michelberger. I have the website Finding Awakening, where you can find help to awaken in this lifetime. Today, John asks, we often feel like we have to engage in a practice like inquiry into the 10 fetters. Do we simply just find ourselves doing this without choice? And the voice inside commenting is incidental? That's a good question. The core issue here is there really no choice? Don't we have a say in what happens? Is everything just chance? How it's just rolling along and we don't have a say? That's such a tricky question. So first of all, is there really no choice? Well, let's see. Hello, welcome. Say hello. When you find yourself doing this inquiry, hi John, lovely that you're here. How did this all start? Did you decide to have this inner drive to awakening? Maybe it started when you came across a book about spirituality, Buddhism, or non-duality. Did you decide to come across this book or not? Probably not. What started the journey for you? Find out whether it was your choice or not. Hi, Ash. For me, it started when I was on a night shift in the hospital as a very young doctor. I was 26 years old as well. It was my internship. And a motorcyclist was brought in, and he was so badly injured that he was already dead when he arrived. And we searched his pockets for his identity card, and I found it and looked on it, and he was just born in the same year I was born. We were both 26 years old. And in that moment, I realized that death is actually an upcoming reality and not an always existing possibility. And so all of a sudden this question was there, but I don't even know who I am. I have no idea where this question came from. I didn't choose it. I didn't choose to be on call. When this terrible accident happened, I didn't choose the motorcyclist to drive that way. So I didn't choose this thought. How did it start for you? Did you choose consciously to come across what started the search for you? Some of you told me that you already felt as a child that there was more behind everything. Did you choose to think, to feel that, to have this intuition that this can't be all, there must be more to life? Did you choose that? Or did you choose to have an operation that confronted you with the reality that you might be dying of it, and then decided to now do something about awakening because you were getting nowhere with your Buddhist practice? So, did you have a choice? I know it sounds awfully nihilistic in a way to say there is no choice, But if you just look by reason, you find that there wasn't a choice. How did you pick your partner? Did you choose to meet them? How did you know they lived somewhere where you would meet them? Consider any important life decision, your profession, what job, what career did you choose? You chose it, yes. But did you also choose to come across this possibility? How did you come to know about it? And then something resonated, and so you went that way. So, no, there isn't a real choice. It's really true that life happens and there is no me or I that's holding the reins and says, okay, left, right. No, this isn't the way. Yet it isn't true either that there is no choice. Just watch. Here's a glass of water. I'm lifting it to my mouth without thinking about it. Now watch this absolutely splendid control of the movement. So there is some control. The arm chooses by itself to move to the mouth, and it's trained so well that it hits the mouth. Children have to learn that. You know how often they spill something. So the swallowing happens on its own as well. I didn't choose to swallow. I would guess I didn't have a choice anyway. So, no, we don't have a choice, and yet it isn't true that there is no choice. We come across something, and then something resonates with us. There is an echo. It feels right, or it sparks, it lights a spark in us and say, wow, that sounds fantastic. I'd like to do that. Like little boys all want to become firemen. And because it just sparks something in them, right? So, and then this road is followed. Usually, choices are made in the direction where it feels good. And this feeling better, hoping to feel better anyway, you don't always know beforehand, is actually also the way that keeps you on the path to awakening. You basically hope to feel better. And as you move towards awakening, there are little insights. And when your mind calms down, it gets quieter and it just feels better. So, this last principle, as Freud calls it, the founder of psychoanalysis, is working in our favor. And for example, when the self-illusion is seen through, it just feels so much better. Life is lighter, easier. We're not so much worried about whether we did something right or wrong and what others think about us. And the question of self-worth is at least strongly diminished, if not gone. It just feels better. There is no me and nothing to protect, and I just don't have to, I can just not worry about this. And having something less to worry about is fantastic. And that's with all the fetters. Each time it feels better. Even when on first glance the shift is quite strange. When you're in the higher fetters from 6 to 10 inquire to reality, and you find that reality isn't what you thought it was. Still, you will make the choice to go ahead because it feels better. You won't make the choice. You will be pulled into this choice because we operate on this last principle. We just go where it's better. And So this principle works in your favor, but it's not that you are making the choices. You might know, by the way, that decisions, which are choices, are made up to 6 seconds before they actually become conscious. They found that out in the PET scans. I find that very interesting. So once you know what you want to do, once the thought is there, I'm going to do this, it has already been decided without your conscious influence. So science is supporting this as well. Now, what is pulling you is this drive to feel better. Either you experienced already with an insight that, wow, not having experiencing a self feels so much better. I want to be there always. Or you just want to feel better and then start out and find something by accident or coincidence, who knows, that resonates and you think, that could work out for me. For me, it was an advertisement in the newsletter, in the newspaper, about 2 weeks after I had this night with this motorbike driver. And it was about a meditation introductory course in Zen. And I participated and didn't stop from then on. So there are these interesting coincidences. I don't know how they happen. You can have lots of explanations, like life helps, the universe helps you, consciousness wakes up to itself and drives it. I found a new one recently. The Kundalini energy changes, and that won't let go until you finished your path. These are all fantastic explanations, but actually in experience, I can't tell whether they are true or not. They are good concepts. In the end, you will just be pulled forward. Even that you want to feel better, well, you know that you want to feel better, is a concept too. So I don't know. I don't know what makes you follow this path. I don't know what made me follow this path through all the ups and downs and frustrations. And I wanted to get out and didn't care about awakening when I was in the ninth, but couldn't get out. I don't know what kept me on it. In the end, I couldn't leave. So that was simple. But yeah, no, there isn't a choice. The choice is made without you. And it's proven by science. So, and the voice inside commenting, is it incidental? I don't know where this voice comes from. I find it highly interesting that there is a voice commenting everything or inventing. I think in dialogues, for me, it invents dialogues with people. This is no longer happening, I just noticed. Oh, interesting. But I used to think strongly in dialogues, and I was always discussing stuff with people, back, forth, back, forth. And so this voice is there, and I can't tell why. If you can tell me, do so. I would love to know. It's there. It's a very amazing thing that we have a running commentary, like a sports reporter, going on all the time, labeling everything. By the way, this is strongly reduced after the eighth theta, and might even fall away. It gets very quiet then. So in a way, it's kind of keeping up all these illusions that suggest me and wanting and not wanting, and a real world outside of us that we can influence with thinking about it and solving the problems. And when it gets less, still everything functions wonderfully, even better, because we're not so distracted all the time. Do you have a question, John or Ash? And then write it down. I'm happy to answer it. By the way, I know from some people that they don't have a voice. They think differently. I can't imagine how they think, but they don't hear a voice, but know that there are thoughts and know what the thoughts are about. I find that fascinating, this thinking process. And there is below the words or beyond the words or behind the words, there is another thinking process. If you get quiet a bit, there is still some engine running all the time, and there are no words, but it's clear there is still thinking going on. So it's a very, very interesting phenomenon. All right, so no further questions. Then I'll close the call. Thank you so much for listening. And if you watch this later, please let me know your question or how your thoughts are doing. Do you pick your thoughts? Do you make it be there? And can you make it go away too? Bye bye.